So this guy Zamasu really hates mortals. I mean, he really hates them, man. Some recent leaks have come out from Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 16, as well as upcoming episodes of Super, talking about Zamasu's great plan. Some are calling it the Zero Mortals plan. Others are calling it the Human Extermination plan. Well, on this video, I'm going to take all the evidence presented to us, a couple of theories here and there, and explain to you as best I can what I think the Human Extermination plan, the Zero Mortals plan, actually is.
I've come back from the future to warn you that if you don't subscribe to Geekdom 101, your future is grim.
Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 16 really opened up a whole new can of worms as far as how far Zamasu is going to take this Zero Mortals plan and how far he wants to destroy civilizations and really wreck anything that's not a god. But really, I think it's deeper than that. I think with the new revelation, Zamasu wants to wreck anything that's not him or black. So let's look at the evidence. In Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 16, we find out startling new information that apparently in the future timeline, in Trunks' future timeline, all of the gods of destruction and the gods of creation, the Supreme Kais, have been destroyed. That's right, they don't exist. Now, why is this? Is it because Black and Zamasu are really powerful? No, because Black and Zamasu have knowledge of the God connection that I mentioned earlier. The God connection, for those of you who didn't watch that video I did, basically refers to the fact that the Supreme Kais and the gods of destruction are linked together. So if you kill off the Supreme Kais for each individual universe, the gods of destruction also will fall. Now, we know from watching Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, mostly Dragon Ball Super, we know that the gods of destruction are much more powerful than the gods of creation, the Kais. In fact, in Dragon Ball Z, we find out that even the mortals like Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta are stronger than Kaioshin. Mortals have been able to surpass godly levels, which is actually why Zamasu is so pissed off at the situation. He's so angry because this is the truth that he knows that he can't avoid. So he also knows that he can't beat a god of destruction in a fight, and therefore he and Black have took it upon themselves to wipe out every Kai from all 12 universes, because as you guys know, only a god or somebody of that god tier can travel in between the universes. Mortals can't do that. Only gods can do that. And of course, how can you travel in between timelines? With the time ring. And of course, if you've been watching Dragon Ball Super, you know for a fact that Black has a time ring. So again, guys, we're taking all the clues that are given to us and putting it together in a logical way. But of course, that begs the question, how did this whole plan come about? Well, now we're going to have to get a little bit theoretical here. First of all, if you've been paying attention to Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, you know that there are 4 timelines. And that's before Dragon Ball Super. There were 4 timelines. The main timeline, Trunks' timeline, Cell's timeline, and the unseen timeline are the common names for these timelines. And you know that there are actually 4 green time rings and 1 gray time ring. So one can easily figure out, or at least assume intelligently, that each time ring represents one of the alternate timelines. That makes sense, right? Are you following me? So we also know that from Dragon Ball Super episode 58, we know that Zamasu went to go visit Zuno to interrogate him about the Super Dragon Balls, as well as information about who Goku is. And we also know that it appears like Zamasu's going to attempt to kill Gowasu. But why? Many people have thought that Gowasu was going to get killed so that Zamasu would steal the time ring. In fact, even I thought this, even Whis thought this in the series. That's not what I think anymore. My mind has changed on this. I think that Zamasu has already taken the time rings and used them. I think in Dragon Ball Super episode 59, he's trying to kill Gowasu because he knows if Gowasu dies, the god of destruction of Universe 10 will also die, and he knows that that is phase 1 of his plan. So then the question is, what did he do with those 4 time rings? Well, I might have an answer for you. So since there are 4 timelines, and Zamasu has 4 time rings, that means there are 4 Zamasus, 1 per timeline. I think Zamasu took the time ring, went into the future already, recruited some of these other Zamasu, which haven't been revealed yet, and one of these Zamasus because they share a very similar ki, but not identical, similar, not identical to Goku Black, I think that one of those Zamasus will unearth Goku's body in future Trunks' timeline and become Goku Black. That's one. But what about the other Zamasus? Well, I think that present Zamasu told the other Zamasus in the other timelines, told them exactly what happened, who Goku is, because they'll probably never run into Goku ever. And I think because they're all like-minded individuals, they all agreed that not only should the mortals be stopped, but Goku should be the poster boy in a piece of poetic justice to destroy the mortals that he so eloquently defended for so many years. So one of the Zamasus of the future timelines becomes Black. And as Black grows in power and also knowledge of the God connection, this guy Black went to other universes, taking out the Supreme Kais, therefore taking out the Gods of Destruction, ensuring that in the future, nobody could stop them. Because if all the Gods of Destruction are gone, who's going to stop them? Goku is dead in the future. The Z fighters are all dead. It's just Trunks and the Resistance. Now, obviously, the multiple Zamasu theory is just something that I kind of pull out of my ass. It's not really something that's been talked about, but to me, it makes the most sense that if you have the 4 time rings, you split up to do all the work in Trunks' future, and you might be wondering, well, wait a minute. So they're wiping out all these gods in the future. Well, what about the present? Well, remember the rules of the time ring. You cannot go back in time unless a time hole is ripped open by something like a time machine. So pretty much what this means is that Zamasu and Black are stuck in the future. But the secret, at least what I think the secret is that the Zamasu of the future is not the same Zamasu of the present. He's the Zamasu that present Zamasu went to go contact in the future. This is getting confusing. And I think that Black is another Zamasu from another timeline that present Zamasu also found. And there may be one more Zamasu out there. Now, of course, there are some unanswered questions left. Like, where is the Omni King in all this? Where is Whis? Where is Vados? Because if Champa dies in the future, then Vados should stand up for him, right? I mean, what happens to the assistants when the Gods of Destruction die? Do they also die? Are they also linked? It's never said. But obviously something had to have happened to them. And then there's, of course, the case of the Omni King. Does the Omni King exist outside of time and space? Can he traverse timelines and universes at will? We don't know yet, but he is the Omni King, right? So you would assume maybe he can. Maybe he's completely unaware of the fact that all of his gods in another timeline are pretty much dead. So my guess is that in the future, Black and Zamasu continue to grow in strength, knowing that future Trunks has a time machine, especially now they know, and will eventually try to use that time machine to possibly go back to the present to really get revenge on Goku and wipe out everybody in the present. However, of course, that is probably not going to happen, but that's their plan. Nonetheless, I do feel that the Zero Mortals plan, it goes beyond mortals. I think that Zamasu doesn't just want to kill mortals. He wants to kill the protectors of mortals, the gods, the Kais, and the Gods of Destruction, because even though there are Gods of Destruction who destroy, the Kais have been known to get involved in mortal business when it possibly could danger the entire universe, such as the resurrection of Majin Buu and things of that nature. So I think that Zamasu and Black are an even bigger threat than Majin Buu could ever hope to be. But again, that's just one man's opinion. I think that is the grand plan of Zamasu, and he's kind of already won in the future, and now it's going to be up to our heroes from the present to make a difference. That's what I think. I think there are multiple Zamasus, and I think that there's going to be another one revealed probably in the near future. Will he be immortal? Who knows? But I do believe that Zamasu used the time rings already to go to the future, recruit more Zamasus, and I do think that the theory that Whis had in Dragon Ball Super episode 58 was only partially correct. I think there's a lot more, or maybe I'm completely wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know, do you think there's some validity to what I'm saying? Can you deconstruct what I'm saying and come up with a different theory? Or do you think I'm right on the ball? I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to spread this video out. Share the video out to the world, and thank you for your support of Geekdom 101 as always. And I just love talking Dragon Ball, and if you want to talk about Dragon Ball, I want to talk to you. I will catch you down the road.